Hey everyone, Dan Vuksanovich here for Why I Suck at Guitar, and this is a big myth we're busting today. So big that I'm interested to see what the comments are going to look like. So let's get into this right away. Somehow, we as a guitar community have come to believe that focusing on economy of motion is this holy grail of building speed. And this is a fundamental misunderstanding of correlation versus causation. This is actually, when you hear people talk about the logical fallacies, mistaking correlation for causation is one of them. And the notion that you can build speed simply by making your movement smaller is a logical fallacy. Economy of motion does not cause speed. Economy of motion is correlated with speed. So when you see players who are playing with speed, many, but not all of them, are typically making smaller movements than players who do not play with speed. But focusing on economy of motion as this silver bullet means of getting faster can actually prevent you from achieving what you want to achieve. Now, I've seen a lot of players, and I'm one of them, create loads of tension, unnecessary tension for themselves by thinking that small movements are the way to get faster. But I can be really locked up from a muscle standpoint and make tiny little movements. But I have so much tension, there's no way I can move fast. It's just not possible. So with all that in mind, what are the elements of building speed if economy of motion does not cause speed? Let's talk about that. Number one, a defined motion. So let's look at the inverse of a defined motion. If I don't have a clear understanding of how I'm going to use my muscles to make a specific movement, how can I take something that I have not defined for myself and economize it? You can't. You can't economize something that doesn't exist. So, as an example, picking motion. How am I going to use my muscles? Which joints am I going to use to pick? It's probably going to be some combination of forearm rotation at the elbow, wrist motion, and maybe a little bit of finger movement. Probably. But there's lots of different picking motions out there. Define something first. The thing you define first may not be the thing that works best. You may have to define something and try it, and then define something else and try that, but you have to know what you're doing. Some people are intuitive at this. Those people aren't watching this video because they're already playing fast and they didn't have to think about it. But for those of us who do have to think about these things, you have to define your motions. Number two, you have to be able to move in a fluid manner. So once I've defined my motion, I have to be able to move it in a fluid manner. So the most obvious way of preventing yourself from moving in a fluid manner is by pitting your opposing muscle groups against each other. And if any of you have watched my many years old videos that are that look terrible and are, 240p or something, I do talk about this, but let's talk about it again. We can do things like stand up and walk and pick things up and move in general because we have typically opposing muscle groups that allow us to move in multiple directions. So if I want to close my hand, I have muscles here that pull and allow me to close my hand. If I open my hand, I have muscles here that pull and allow me to open my hand. These motions are fluid because I am not using this muscle group against this muscle group. If I am, that's when the claw happens. So this muscle group is fighting against this muscle group. And this is a big part of the tension that can get created when you're trying to make these really small motions, but you don't know what that motion is. And then all of a sudden it's deer in the headlights time and it's this. So define your motion, make your motion fluid. And by the way, fluid motions are usually big, especially in the beginning. So this is the opposite of economy of motion. If I need to make my motions fluid, and I can then make those fluid motions smaller, it is almost impossible to take a tight, small motion and make it faster. Number 3, consistency of motion, also known as muscle memory. So as you define your motions, whether it's a picking motion or your fretting motion, hammer-ons, pull-offs, whatever the case may be, if you do it enough and you do your motions the same way enough, your body will start to remember what that muscle motion feels like. And so if you have a defined motion that is fluid and consistent, you will start to notice that you can actually not have the guitar in your hands and close your eyes and feel yourself playing. You can feel yourself picking. And when the pick hits the string, and when you get the pick through the string with a downstroke and an upstroke, and you can feel yourself hammering on notes and pulling off notes. This is real. This happens. You can also create bad muscle memory. So if you end up with your opposing muscle groups working against each other, if you end up trying to economize a muscle motion that isn't defined, you'll end up with this. And if you do this enough, this is what your body will remember. So that when you close your eyes without the guitar in your hands and you try to imagine yourself playing, this is all you can feel. And I know because I've been there. And I know that you can get out of it because now that doesn't happen to me anymore. Number 4, reviewing numbers 1 through 3, defined motion, fluidity of motion, consistency of motion. Number 4, economy of effort, not economy of motion. Economy of motion is an outcome of having a defined motion that is fluid and consistent and taking as much effort as you can out of that motion. So with my picking motion, fluid, and then as I take that motion and make it put less effort into each picking stroke, now I can move in a motion that I've defined. I can move in a fluid manner because I'm not over controlling and I'm economizing the amount of effort that I'm putting into each motion. And when you economize your effort, your motions will get smaller. And if you do those 4 things, define your motion, fluidity of motion, consistency of motion, and then economize the effort that you are putting into it, you will get faster. So have fun getting faster.